Well, I'm out here going to put grain out to the livestock, and this time of the year, you can see these pastures out here are pretty green, but this green doesn't do the animals a whole lot of good. I mean, it does better probably than hay, and they sure like it better than hay. We still are keeping hay out for them, but they're not eating much of the hay. But they're really going after the green grass. But they're bad to get the squirts with this green grass when it's early like it is right now. And I think too it's kind of a shock to their system. But we feed them grain still. Every other day I feed them grain out here to kind of help them along, give them a little extra protein. Most of the cows have had babies by now, and they need to be fed a little bit of extra supplementation. So we are giving them some grain, and but we don't want them to get too ran down because they're trying to feed the baby plus themselves, and we're wanting this grass to come on. We've had rains. It was very dry here. We're getting plenty of rain now, and this week's supposed to be warm. The temperatures have been kind of cold, but I'm fixing to go turn the cows in here and let them eat grass. I'll show you just a little bit of something. My niece up in Missouri, I've shared this before, but she calls these hillbilly feed troughs. They're old bathtubs, and I don't mind what they look like. I ain't into all that stuff, but these make really good feed troughs, and they don't rust. They last, except for I did have them in a straight line, and the cows have butted them and pushed them around till they're loose out here now. But anyway, here's my little dog Foxy. And here's the feed troughs, and I'm fixing to put feed out here for them. I've got the farm truck up here, going to put grain in each of these bathtubs, put about a 5-gallon bucket in each one this time of the year, and I do that every other day. As you can see, everything's really turning green, and but they get the squirts if they eat this stuff, and it's kind of lowers their nutrients that they need actually, and but they won't hardly eat the hay when you put it out. They'd rather go after this green stuff. So I'm fixing to go over here and turn them in and let them eat this here, but we still keep hay out if they want hay, but they don't eat much of the hay. They'd rather have this stuff, but when it's getting this early spring rains and stuff, it just doesn't do them as much good. So I still keep an every other day instead of feeding them every day. I feed them every other day grain this time of the year to kind of supplement them, keep them going. I'll probably do that for another week, and then probably about the 20th or so I'll be able to quit the grain feeding and let them just be totally on. This time of the year the cows will actually start going downhill and looking like they're losing weight, and they'll be eating on all this green grass, and you think, what's going on? It's just that they get the diarrhea, the squirts, and they'll squirt it out, and they lose more than they gain. Show you a little video of the cows. Most of these cows here have had their babies this year, and I've got grain put out over here, and I'm going to turn them loose in here to eat grain. I can take these cows and lead them all over the pasture with a bucket of grain, even in the summertime. If I go to calling them, I can call them, and they know that it's time to feed. So even during the winter months, summer months, whenever, if I want to get them up in the cow lodge, I can take a bucket of feed and get them to come up. My dad can too. Now they're not very good at listening to strangers, but I guess it's something about my voice, but you can hear them really bawling now. Come on! Come on! Come on! They get wound up when they hear that. My little cow dog here, he thinks I'm wanting him to wrestle him up here, but Foxy, come on. Here they come. They'll go over here to the hillbilly feed troughs and get fed, and we're getting a good little herd of babies here this year. I usually keep them over here for a day. Tomorrow I won't put any grain out, and I'll let them turn back over here, and I've got it opened up over here on my neighbors. I showed you fixing the electric fence over there on one of the videos. Foxy, here. Get him. Get her, Fox. Get her. Get her, Fox. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her. Bring her on. Bring her on. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her on. Get her. Bring her. Bring her on. Get her. Good boy. That's good. Come on, knucklehead. But anyway, they'll go around there and eat. And tomorrow I'll turn them back over here. And the grass is taller back over here in places, so they've got a lot of land to roam on back in here, and I'll let them go tomorrow without grain, and eventually I can quit grain feeding altogether. Some don't feed grain at all, they're just strictly grass feeding. That's fine. You got to do what you feel is the most appropriate for your farm and place, but this is what we do here. And this time of the year especially, you can see they got hay still laying on the ground different places. They just don't much care for it. They want the green grass, and it's hard to keep them away from the green, so we feed them a little grain every other day, and it seems to help them with the squirts and to give them a little more energy here. Anyway, appreciate you watching today. It's a beautiful day out here in Oklahoma on the Homestead. Good spring morning. It's supposed to be in the 60s today and on up in the 70s this week. I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit of warmer weather. Just a little note to show you. Way back yonder along the creek, you can see some trees that are down. We had a storm come through here last year and knocked several trees down, especially along the creek. Over yonder you can see some that are down. It come a quick thunderstorm. We're not under a tornado watch, thunderstorm watch, or anything. Just this storm brewed up real quick. And in town here, the two neighboring towns here had a whole lot of damage, and some houses destroyed, and it really was a scary morning. We were sitting on our porch and I heard it thundering, and I said, boy, there's a little storm coming. And I went in to do something to get some more coffee, and my weather alarm was going off, and it said people in our town to take shelter, a severe thunderstorm with high-powered winds. But it was more than just a normal thunderstorm. This was quite a storm. Out here, we didn't get near the damage here that they got in town, and closer you get into town. But it was a scary morning, and I've got to get these trees cleaned up eventually. I got more projects to do than I got time to do. I wonder if you're in that boat. But anyway. Well, I'm out here today filming the cows. These are cows that we have that still haven't had babies yet. This little cow here with that 151 in her ear, she is really showing and just about to calf. This cow here, she's showing. If you're wondering what I mean by showing on a cow when she's going to have a calf, if you can see that udder right there is her orifices where she feeds her baby are getting very large and swelled up. And you can see back here from this angle, she's starting to fill out there, which is a sign that she's getting close to having a baby. These other cows the same way. When you're around them all the time, you can just start noticing the differences in them. But these cows are getting close, and I think there's 8 or 9 of them in here, and they're nearing time to have their young. And so anyway, that's why they're in here, so I can keep an eye on them if they do have trouble. This is kind of like the intensive care unit here on the farm. If one has trouble, why, we could be here to help them have their calf if need be. But just thought I'd update you a little bit. But these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, I guess, that still that are close to having babies. We got more that will have babies this spring, but you can see that cow's udders there. Don't want to be X-rated here, but it's just a fact of life that happens. And they're hungry here. I feed them a little grain, supplement them, because they're fixing to be doing a big job here feeding themselves, plus their newborn baby, and they're feeding the baby actually inside of them right now. So just thought I'd show you a little update on the cows, and Hope you're having a wonderful day. May God richly bless you.